last day driving to Onion, and we are on the way to the airport to drop it off. And on the way, Katie had found out that there is a somewhat popular Indian curry restaurant that is just kind of like in a strip mall off the side of the road, and kind of like a place you would never expect to have, like, you know, amazing food. And it's fairly popular, and even though we're not in its like prime time of the day, it's like 10:30 or 11 o'clock or something, there's still a reasonable number of people here, and it's just kind of got that vibe, like people come here a lot. Like the people that are in here, they come here, they know what to order because they love that specific thing. And we read that they have rotis that are very popular here, and basically the roti is, I don't know how a roti differs from a naan exactly. It's a bread type of item, and it's Indian based, and then you put it into curry. So it's sort of like a naan type thing. And mine is, I asked the waiter what his favorite was, and he said the sweet one, so I got the sweet one. And I also got a chicken curry. Katie's roti, on the other hand, has an egg on top of it. So I'm not 100% clear on how to eat this exactly. So I'm just gonna try to eat it with a fork and spoon, because that's what I'm looking around and kind of seeing other people do. If it was an Indian naan, I'd be used to just using it in my hand, but I'm not seeing that going on. That's very good. Oh my god, it's very, very good. There's definitely some sweetness in there, and the sweetness combined with the spiciness of the curry is like a very, very amazing combination. Yeah, this is, I see why this would have repeat customers. We also got some coffee. Their coffee is good. As soon as I shut off the camera, I was like, what is the difference between a roti and a naan? And I realized I know the answer. A roti is cooked in like an oil on a flat like pan, kind of grilled into it. It's kind of, what's it? Is it grilled or is it like deep fried? Kind of like it's grilled, but they use so much oil, it's almost like it's frying it a little bit. And a naan is just a big piece of bread cooked inside of a tandoor, which is like a giant oven. They slap it on the side of the inside of it. And I guess they use, like, maybe there's more butter or something. No, sometimes naan is quite buttery as well. I'm not sure about the base ingredients, but the cooking process is a bit different between the two.
If we're back in BSB, I don't think we need to go to any new restaurants. There's a few more on the lists that we've checked out, but overall, I would go back to that.
Yeah, I just want to eat
right
there
now.
a lot. And they kept bringing plates out for other people, and it was like, that looks amazing. That looks amazing. That looks amazing. Like everything.
We saw a roti that looked like they just stuffed as much stuff inside of it as possible. I don't know what's in there, but it's going to be great. Oh.
Yeah, it looked it looked ridiculous. And mine was just so good. Good work, guys. We're back at the airport, and we have dropped off Onion, and they gave me back the $1,000 in cash, and it did seem like she thought it was a little strange. She was handing me back $1,000 in cash. Like, that's not how this normally works, but whatever. They gave me the money back. You have, like, there are no worries in this country. Everybody here is so honest. Like, there's no reason to be concerned. Like, we paid for a car like that situation in a parking lot, and it felt a little bit shady in a way, but these people aren't gonna steal from you. It's just like, they're just incredible. On the way back, we had to fill up on the gas tank, and it was the first time we put gas in the car. So it was the first time we had a chance to see the price of the fuel, and the fuel is 53 cents, like local cents. And like per liter probably, which is still pretty cheap. I'm not sure exactly how cheap, but I do plan on, if I remember and can figure out how to be a wizard and do the math, I'll like put some text down here that changes it to like how much that is per gallon, like in USD. And then we'll see how cheap it is to have fuel that is at a gas station that came out of the road down, like came out of the ground down the street. When you're in this little country, it makes me wonder if like Shell is like, you know, we're gonna just break you guys a deal on like the production and everything of the fuel since you're letting us drill out of the ground, you know, like the government's got something set up for that. But yeah, it seems like it was really, really cheap, and the whole car experience was awesome. So we're waiting for a bus to hop back into the city, and then we're planning on trying to find a boat to go to the other side of Brunei, to go to the little enclave, because there are some forests and stuff over there that are supposed to be worth checking out. We've bussed into town, and then we've walked a bit down the coastline, and we have gotten to a little, I don't know if I'd call it a ferry port. It's a little place where the speedboats stop, and the speedboats are gonna bus us on over to the other side of Brunei. And I guess it's supposed to be about 45 minutes, so shouldn't be too tragic. The boat is pretty small. I kind of expected a ferry, but when they say speedboat, it's pretty much what they mean.
Boats are awesome. All boats are awesome. Are there boats that aren't awesome?
Sinking boats.
Even the bumper boats at like Putt-Putt are great. I fell off one once.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Did you fall in the water?
Got really wet.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I was that kid. Yeah.
So that was like really, really cool ride. Like you think, oh, it's just gonna be transport, whatever, but it was like an adventure in itself. Because you're going through kind of like little canals and rivers and stuff that are varying degrees of width. Like some of them are pretty narrow, and then they open up into these wide areas. Like in my mind, I thought we were just gonna be going out on the ocean and just jumping across the ocean, but like it's like you went through like the back roads.
Yeah.
And it was like the Disney Jungle Cruise kind of, but like legit, like serious forested, like rainforest looking stuff.
I could have taken some cheesy jokes during it. That would have been great. Did you have any cheesy jokes?
I didn't have any cheesy jokes.
Could have upped it with the cheesy jokes.
We're gonna have to prepare before the trek back. I do think we're gonna be on that boat going the other direction eventually. And it was really cheap, by the way. It was 45 minutes. It got us to the other side of the country, and it was like $5 US. So like, I mean, whatever. On the boat ride in, like going through the forest, Katie was like, I can't believe there's gonna be a town here. And she was kind of right. There is a town, but I don't know if I would call it like, it's not a metropolis, let's put it that way. Check out this map. That's the whole thing. Just a few places. But if you zoom out, you get like the coolest map in the world. It's like the entire like side of the country. That's so cool. I wonder if it's to scale.
Welcome to Bangar Town!
I made a friend. Not a fan of the camera. This cat's really interested in just having the underside of its shin pet. It won't let me touch it anywhere else right now, but I can feel its purr machine going really hard. It's really nice. I don't often get the opportunity to like pet an animal like this or anything, so you can kind of feel like, you know, your life force is connecting or whatever, you know? It's like this nice feeling. I'm making this cat feel nice. He's making me feel nice. This purr machine is amazing. I need a purr machine. Cats kind of are just a purr machine, aren't they? The cat was just inside of this cave thing that they've got built inside of a little park that's inside of a little fountain. Feels kind of like Tom Sawyer's Island. I think it's pretty obvious that cat's name is Tom Sawyer. Just wandered into a guest house looking for a place to stay. And they've got all these instruments set up, and they've got these like, I don't know what they're called, but like these bell things. I really want to play them, but I have this feeling that if I start playing them, some of you will not be that happy with me. We've walked around this little town a little bit looking for a place to stay, and it's like there's basically 3 places to stay. There's a really cheap place, which is a youth hostel or youth center. I can't even tell if it's supposed to be a youth hostel or not. I don't understand. They have dormitory style rooms, and they're supposed to be gender separated, but they're just letting us stay in the same room, maybe because there's no other guests, and it's kind of nice. It works out for us. And then there is a medium range place that I didn't get to see in the inside of the rooms of, but seemed like it was like a more like normal guest house type place. And then there's a big expensive hotel. So you have the low, the medium, and the high. And the medium one, which is probably ideal for us, is booked. So they didn't have any rooms. And the expensive place is just, how do I, it's just, it goes from being $10, it goes from being 20 local dollars to 78, and it's just like we can't make that jump. So we're gonna stay in the cheap place right now. But it's been a little bit interesting because everybody in this country has been absolutely wonderful and lovely, except for the people here. It's not that they're being nasty, it's that they're being kind of cold and nobody seems to know what to do. Like, it took us an hour to get a key to get in the room. Like, what's going on? There's like people here and they seem like some of them are just teenagers and they seem, yeah, like, do you work here? And they're like, yes. They're like, can we stay here? And they're like, wait. And then 20 minutes goes by and then another random person comes by and you have the same conversation and nobody ever comes back. And this is it's a weird situation. And we actually are in this little area, the side of the country that we're on has got this like jungle or natural reserve or whatever. And that's basically the thing to do. So we want to go do that. And we have to book the tour 24 hours in advance basically. And we don't have a telephone. So we asked the people here, like, can we use the phone? And he was like, no. So we're like, okay. Now we have to hunt down a phone somewhere. I don't know. And like, while we were looking for hotels, we stopped a random person on the street basically, and we were like, hey, we're trying to find this other guest house. Do you know where it is? And he's like, oh, let me get my phone and call them and see if I can figure it out for you. And he couldn't. But like, it was just some rando on the street, and he was like so friendly and like getting his phone out, and he called a bunch of different numbers, and he was like, spent 10 minutes with us trying to figure out this little puzzle. And then like you come to the place where you're like actually paying for a service and they're just like, we're not helping you. So it's just kind of like, what's happening in this little black hole? I don't understand. But it's clean, it's a place to stay. The bathrooms have a little bit to desired, like it's a little grungy in there, but it's one night. Hopefully we can get this tour booked and we can make our way into the jungle tomorrow.
Eric and I have actually split up for maybe the past 30 minutes. I am on laundry duty and he is on reservation duty. I have no idea how he is going to do what he has to do. His situation is perplexing. Mine was find laundry detergent. I've already figured out how to use, or at least I think I will know how to use the washing machine here at this hotel. It's very different than I've ever seen, so should be interesting. I've gotten all our dirty clothes and I'm gonna introduce you to the machine. Here we go. This is the tub that's going to do the washing. This is the area that's going to do the spinning to dry it. We'll get to that in just a moment. Back to the washing. There is no pipe or hose going into the machine. That was the first thing I was like, how do you get the water in there? Over here, there is a hose. I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna point it into this area. I'm gonna try and turn it on. Let me see if I can do that and get some legs involved. All right, we've got water going in and it's also going on the floor. I am making quite a mess. It's just water and the drain is right there, so I think that they probably deal with that. I can't figure out how to seal it off, and that's not going to be something I figure out how to do because more than likely I will just break it more. I've got my detergent here. The back of the box or bag says all about kilos and how much to use, and it's like, use a scoop. There's no scooper in here, so we are straight up just gonna pour this stuff in and hope that I don't ruin anything. We have suds. This is good. I hope that it stays at this level, but I poured in quite a bit. It'll be fine. I've gotten everything in there. Got my soap suds. Everybody seems to be ready for the voyage we're about to go on. So I'm going to introduce you to the panel on top and how this machine functions. All right. In the middle, you can be choosing between washing and spinning. Right now we're set to spin. Maybe we should set to wash. I don't really think this does anything, but we should at least give it a go. You have the power for how hard you want your clothes to be washed, and gentle, normal, or strong. We're gonna go normal. That's what it was set on when I came over here. And this is the timer. Once you turn the timer, it starts going. I'm gonna run it for 15 minutes. I do have to specify that I had to turn on the electricity before this started. Like, I was turning this timer a bunch and a bunch and a bunch, and then I realized that I needed to actually give it electricity. So here we go. So after it does its spinning for however many minutes you set it on, you have to come back to it and tell it to drain. So you come over to this little spot and you turn it to drain. And it should start going down. I think I'm seeing a little bit of water going down. I can hear it draining over here. Oh, it's just draining straight onto the floor. There it goes. So it'll drain, and I'm gonna do one more wash to make sure all the soap gets out, and then we're on to the spin. Since I've got free reign of the bathroom right now, there's nobody else in it, I'm gonna go ahead and explain the spinning cycle, and I won't be putting the clothes in there, and the washer will be running in the background, but I just don't want to get to that point and then not have the chance to explain to you guys the strangeness that is this machine. You will drain stuff, you'll drain the water out of the area that it's washing, but then you're going to take the clothes and put them into a separate apparatus to do the spin dry. And the separate apparatus looks like this. So you have to take off this lid. Okay, that one actually holds itself up. This one did not hold itself up. There's a little cover and my trash. And then there's another little cover. And basically I think as much clothes as you can fit in there, then this little nipple is gonna dry everything. So fit all the clothes you can in there and just tell it to spin, and it will go and go. It's got a 5-minute timer, and then hopefully it gets them nice and dry. Wow. And then you hang them from there. But I've never seen a machine that has the wash and the spin in a different area. That's really strange. It's a darn good thing that I did the spin video without like trying to do the spin video, because the spinning apparatus didn't actually work. So all of that was fantasy. That's not really what happened. And we ended up wringing all of the clothes out by hand, and now we've hung them outside to dry. It's 6 o'clock.
Yeah, it's that time of clock. That's the sun setting.
This might be very stupid of us. I would say today,
series of mistakes.
a series of mistakes. But we'll have clean clothes-ish. They'll be clean. They just might be wet. And we're gonna go get some food. It's not too bad.
To expand on this series of mistakes, so we came over here assuming that we would be able to just book like a tour into this national park that's here, and you have to go with a guide. You have to take like a boat up a river and stuff, and then it's a very protected area by the government. So like either you have to go with a guide to go into this small area tourists are allowed to go in, or you're a scientist and you have special permits and stuff. They don't allow tourism because they're trying to keep the place really nice, which is fantastic. And it's supposed to be one of the coolest rainforests on the entire island of Borneo, so I'm looking forward to checking it out. So we got here, and when we got off at the port, we started talking to some Westerners that were at the port, and I was like, hey, what was the tour you went on? Was it good? And stuff like that. And they started telling us about this one that it's a resort that's actually inside of the National Reserve, and it's the only place that has that facility. And they said it was amazing, and this guy said he's lived here for 5 years, and he's been on 4 tours, and he's gone on this one 3 times, and he went on another one once, and he was like, I'll just keep using these people because they're so good. So we were excited about it and everything, and we ended up talking to one of the people that works for this tour company, and he was just like, you got to book at least 24 hours in advance. So we were like, okay, so we won't be able to do it to like stay there. You stay there overnight. It's badass. So we aren't going to be able to stay there tonight, so that's what pushed us in this situation trying to find a hotel here. And we ended up in this youth hostel, and it's questionable but tolerable. And I went and found a telephone, which was a bit of difficulty, but I got a telephone. Somebody let me borrow their cell phone, and I called the tour/resort place that's inside of the National Reserve, and I was like, hey, can we have a tour tomorrow? He's like, no. I was like, okay, when are you going to be available? He said they are completely booked until after Christmas, and it's the 21st right now, so we do not have 4 or 5 days worth of stuff to do in this little town or on this side of this country. There's like a hike you can take, and other than that, it's all national forest that you have to have guides to get into and all this stuff. So we're like, what are we gonna do? So it's looking like what we're gonna do is stay here tonight, and then maybe in the morning, if our clothes are dry, we might go to Malaysia tomorrow, but that's all sort of in the air right now. We don't have any way to get on the internet here, and we don't know, it's really difficult to use the telephone. Nobody like at our hotel will let us use their telephone, so randos on the street will help us, but the people that here won't. So it's a little bit frustrating, but we know that we can't go on a tour, on the tour we want until after Christmas. So maybe what we'll do is we'll go into Malaysia, do some exploring, come back here, and all of that geographically sort of makes sense if we make a loop. So it might not be a complete disaster, but it does sort of make today a bit of a wash on like activities that are moving forward.
Ant fight.
You found an ant fight?
Yeah.
It's no wash.
No, I gave up.
I don't think that's an ant fight.
It's an, well,
Are they fighting?
could be sexy.
It could be sexy.
Yeah.
At the very least, we went on an awesome boat ride.
Yes.
And
I washed the clothes.
oh, we had that. We had
the roti.
The roti this morning was really good.
Yeah.
And I met a cat, and that was really fun. Tom Sawyer. Okay, today wasn't a wash.
Nah. Do you remember when we were sitting on a beach and we were drinking that drink that had the little black seeds? I believe this is the drink that it was essentially mocking. And I think it's just like a rose type flavor, but a milky drink.
What beach were we? Oh, we were. Oh, yeah. Okay.
It tastes like drinking a milky flower. I'm not even joking.
Oh, it's called a rose badong.
It's kind of like in the old people's houses, they have like the flower bouquets and they put the potpourri inside of it. It's like they blended one of those up and you get to drink it.
So you're drinking like the dish from Grandma's bathroom.
Yeah.
Is it good?
It's kind of delicious. I'm not disappointed at all. One thing that I've noticed about eating at restaurants here, and this could be several other countries in this area that are like this as well, food just kind of comes out as it comes out. It doesn't come out all together for you to experience all together. So we've ordered 4 things. Eric's curry and some rice has arrived. He's waiting for a roti, and I'm waiting for another item. But they just bring it out. It doesn't matter if those things are gonna like chill, but you're gonna have to wait for some other items. And we tend to just sit and wait.
And so we came over to this little restaurant, and the reason we chose it is because it's near to where our clothes are outside, and it's getting cloudy in this way that looks like it might rain. So we want to be able to run back and take our clothes inside if that starts to go down. So that was the decision making behind like where we're gonna eat, but it turns out pretty cool. The girl that works here is really friendly. I asked her a whole lot of questions about the menu, and she was chill about it. And I got another roti. I think it's gonna be my jam for like the rest of the trip. This curry that they brought out is like on fire spicy. And I also got one of those 3-colored tea drinks. One of these guys. Oh man. I don't even know what that is. It's like, I mean, I think it's like coffee on the bottom or something, and then cream, and then orange. What is the what is the orange? It's tea, I guess. I don't know. It's good. Highly recommended. I was like, you got those things? She's like, those are special.
We've kind of turned roti into an omelet here. We were thinking it was going to be like a calzone like we saw at the restaurant earlier, but they do theirs more like a flat omelet that they cut into little cubes, and it kind of looks like a quiche. I'm going to get a bite and see if the vegetables inside are good.
And I think usually you're supposed to use a curry with this, but you're just going to eat it raw.
Oh my god, that's really good.
What kind of vegetables do you think are inside?
It's almost like an omelet inside. There's definitely onions and some leafy greens and kind of like leaf onion. I don't know, call it nira in Japanese, but here, I don't know what they call it here, or what we call it in English. I've never eaten it in America.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
But it's a lot of onions and...
It looks like spinachy type stuff.
Yeah, kind of spinachy type stuff. Definitely tasty.
And I just got another roti like breakfast because that one was so damn good. If I pull apart this roti, you can see condensed milk, and that's what sweetens the inside of it. And that's what makes it so amazing to mix in with the curry. That's because the curry is spicy, like not 5-alarm spicy, but it's pretty damn hot. And mixing that with that incredibly sweet condensed milk, it makes a pretty amazing combination.
So one of the good good things about today was that the laundry got done. The laundry is outside right now, and the weather is shit. I probably wasn't the best participant of today, and now I've completely checked out.
So our plans to like leave tomorrow morning, because we were going to try to make quite a trek on a bunch of boats to get to Malaysia. But like now, what do we do with the jig? Our clothes are going to be very wet in the morning. Like our boat would be like at 6:30 in the morning at this point, and yeah, it's really raining really hard. So what do we do? I asked the people that work here, like, is there a laundromat that maybe has dryers in this town? And he was just like, first off, he was like, what's a laundromat? And then he kind of gave me a look like, what's a dryer? He's like, everybody just uses the sun, dude. So yeah, now we're gonna have a big bunch of wet clothes. And do we try to make this jump? I don't know. Today kind of was a monkey wrench in the plans. Everything's upside down at the moment. Whatever. It'll work out, I promise. I swear by the end of this it'll be okay. I don't think this is in tune. The strings are all crossed over each other and stuff. It's a mess. But look at it, it's pretty cool. I don't know what it's called. Like a Malay ukulele. Malay
Mulukalele.
Mugalele?
Malukalele.
Malukalele.
Good morning.
Good morning. So it's 5 a.m. and I think it's gonna be okay. So when we came back to the room last night, it was still raining a little bit. It calmed down. It wasn't the monsoon that was taking place. And we grabbed all our clothes, and they were, of course, ridiculously wet. So we brought them in, and then we stuffed them in the washing machine, and we washed them again. And Katie figured out how to get the spinner actually working on one of the washing machines, so it helped dry some of the clothes out. And then we came back to our dorm room, and we put the clothes everywhere. And like we've got my pants hanging from the fan, and until very recently that fan was running, and we had the dry setting on the
oh, it's all undies.
yeah, we had the dry setting on the aircon bot running all night. It's like really cold in our room right now, because honestly we don't need a fan or an aircon unit running at all, but we did it, and I think all of our clothes are dry, and we're gonna be able to get on the 6:15 boat. Alright, it's about 6 a.m. and we have left our little hotel. It like locked us in. It was weird. We got out. Haven't seen anybody, but we figured out how to escape. And we're headed to the little boat jetty, which is like literally a 2-minute walk. And our boat is at 6:15, so hopefully there won't be a huge line and we'll actually get on the first one. And let's see, I took a horse bath, like a really fast horse bath, because there's no hot water there, and it was pretty cold, like I mentioned, in that room, so my body was still really cold, and it was, I'm awake now, let's put it that way. But yeah, I'm just hoping we get on this boat. Doesn't look like there's a bunch of people here, so I think we'll be alright. I think I got a good reputation among the cats ever since I did that good purr scratcher on Tom Sawyer. They'd be coming all over the place. Oh, now she's walking away. These cats are sketchy.
So we got up this morning, we got on a boat. That boat took us to another boat. That boat took us to a bus. That bus took us to another bus. And that bus brought us here to this boat. I don't know why we got out of the water.
This isn't the last boat of the day.
This is not the last boat of the day. This boat will be taking us to Malaysia. We've just gone through immigration, and we actually sorted out our Bruneian dollar situation with the exchange here, and it ended up costing about $12 US more for that car rental because of the deposit. But I was sitting there thinking, if they told me it was $12 more, I wouldn't have cared, and I would have just gotten that car. So it worked out pretty well.
And I'd much rather have lost $12 to then be in Japan with like 1,000 Bruneian dollars and then been like, what am I gonna do with this? Like, can they exchange that there? I don't even know. This boat looks amazing. They're putting a car on it. Because we've been on this like series of transportation today and we left really early, we haven't had a grand chance to have a proper meal. So last night when we were in a convenience store just looking around, I bought some emergency peanuts and traveler tip. This is a really good idea. Have a bag of emergency peanuts in case you can't eat. So this is all I'm gonna have to eat until this boat gets to where it's going in like an hour and a half or something like that. So that'll put us at nearly 11 o'clock. And remember, we woke up at 5. So emergency peanuts, y'all. Emergency peanuts.
It's going to be a little bit hard to videotape. I can't do it from outside the door because I don't want to hold the door open. I should probably also lock the door to the bathroom. But the situation in the toilet for the boat is surprising. Here we go. We got a nice sink, and then we have a gigantic bucket of water. The entire floor is soaked. The toilet seat is mega soaked. There's actually toilet paper. I'm shocked about that. But I'm gonna try and navigate this. I don't know how well that's gonna go.
We had to go through immigration and a really basic security check to get onto the boat because we're changing countries. And as we're going through, like every time you'd walk around a corner, like the security guard or an immigration person or whatever, and they've got this huge smile on their face. And they just come up to me, like it happened over and over and over within this like 5 minutes. They come up to me like, wow, you're really tall. And they said I look like some
Chelsea player.
Yeah, Chelsea player, like a football player from the UK, I guess. Right? I don't know anything about sports. I've heard this before. I look like some dude. And I don't know, it was just like, when you go through security or immigration or whatever, in any other country, they're not always rude, but they're never cheerful. But the people in this country are so incredibly cheerful that it even leaks into the people doing jobs that are typically uncheerful. So I don't know, it's just wonderful. I really love the people here. I'm hoping we get to come back and do that tour on the on that forest.
Tiburon.
Yeah, but I don't know. We don't know. we aren't sure. We don't really know what's happening tonight. So you know, you never know. But I would like to come back. These people are awesome. I just love the country. It's great. When you're in like Southeast Asia, you often see boats that you can read things on. It surprises you to find. This boat's from Japan. This says pole. It's more of a slide though, to be real. As we're going along between Brunei and Malaysia, there is this spot in the water that is a very distinct change in the color of the ocean. And it's just like a line that goes, it's like somebody drew a line right through the water. And as you pass over it, it becomes much darker. And then on the darker side, there is a lot more activity with like oil rigs and like big ships that look like, I think they're hauling oil and things like that. And I guess that means like there's like maybe a depth change or whatever that causes something like that. And then for whatever reason in that area, oil is more prolific. I don't know the geology behind it. I was just surprised to see a line in the water. We have about 30 minutes between boats after we went through immigration and stuff to get into Malaysia. Oh, we're in Malaysia now. Welcome to Malaysia, asses. And we were like, we think we're gonna eat because like emergency peanuts aren't doing it. So we found this little hawker stall that's like near the transportation center and super clean, surprisingly. And I saw chicken rice, and if you know this, I try to hunt chicken rice down in Tokyo. So if I can find it in Southeast Asia, you better believe I'm gonna be getting down on it. After I got my chicken rice, I went over and looked at what Kyde got. And this amazing spread of buffet stuff you can choose from. And I'm kind of regretting my decision, to be honest with you, because her plate looks incredible. Look at this.
I've been jonesing green beans, so we got the green beans. I'm pretty sure this is some tofu, and it actually feels like nice firm tofu, which I feel I can't get in juicy tofu too. I can't get in Japan as I would like it. Chicken wing that looked like it had some good sauce. And just do a circle, man.
Yeah,
I got a runny egg that I'm ready to poke, and this was my mystery gift to myself. And I really don't have any idea.
Is it meat? Is it vegetable?
It's kind of like a stuffed pepper.
Yeah, I don't know
But
what
I'm
you
not
gotta
really
do.
sure what the pepper part is.
Well, you get a bite of that, son. We'll find out what it is. It looks like meat, right?
Inside's like a meatball.
Yeah.
Outside's like a bitter pepper.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's good.
All right, let's eat. Get on that boat. We're about to get on the 4th boat of the day. And this one's like, what, 3.5 hours or something? And then we'll be in our destination, and then I don't know. The one thing we're a little bummed about is in this town that we're in right now, we're only transferring through for an hour. There's a place to pet sharks, like an aquarium, and that sounds pretty amazing, but we just don't have time. So if you're ever here, wherever we are, come pet a shark. I restocked my emergency peanuts, and I also got some emergency raisins just in case. I made it, guys. I'm back to Hokkaido. So the last boat ride was, it was all right. Just kind of took a nap. Katie did some, she's still watching The Apprentice. What's going on, man?
Season 10, there's 14 seasons. You have to watch them all.
So anyway, we got off the boat. The weather here is beautiful. There's nobody like harassing you for like hotels or anything as a tourist. There seem to be quite a few tourists here, but there's no touting basically. So, I mean, that just, people down in this part of Southeast Asia are really honest. So that seems to be like the theme. So that's great. Makes it really easy. Within an hour, we have set up a bike rental for a motorcycle that we're gonna get for $9 USD a day, which is a pretty good price, I feel. And we're gonna end up doing a loop here on this side of Malaysia. And we also got a SIM card for Katie's phone, now that we're in a country that we'll be in for like a couple of weeks. So that is all set up, and that was reasonably cheap as well. And everybody that has helped us has been wonderful, like unbelievably wonderful and personable. So.
And we're sitting in a shady little area with the breeze flowing over the waves in the distance and the trees in the foreground, which none of you can see because all you can see is a big mall behind us.
I'll overlay something here so they can see what
Wonderful.
I can see. Yeah, there we go. Movie magic, y'all.
I seriously didn't even notice the birds in this area until Eric just pointed them out, but they are quite loud and chatty and all over the place, flying around. We've come to a Chinese food restaurant that specializes in pork, and we came for ribs. We've ended up with something kind of different, but this little place has got a hustle and bustle to it. It's kind of flowing out into the street, and we're hanging out in a nice little breeze, and it's a pretty nice restaurant. The food came out kind of surprised me a bit. We got 2 items. I ordered spare ribs. When I think about ribs, I think that it's gonna come out like this and we're gonna eat it like this, not like that. Is that what you were expecting?
No, I had no idea.
So I got that because Eric's really into ribs. We'll see if he's into these ribs. And the thing that I got was this. It's a special kind of bread that they make here, and honestly, I didn't even know this was coming. So this is like a mystery thing that we're gonna find out about.
I think that might be bread too, maybe in sauce.
I think it's tofu.
Is it just tofu?
Yeah. It's tofu, kind of in a salty, steamy little sauce. Yeah. We got dippins for the bread, I guess. Brown. And we also got tea. It's hot as hell.
And the tea set, look at this, it comes in a little cup of water and stuff. This is how it was delivered.
And that's really hot too. So I guess this is for making like some little sauce that you want to make. And then we've got the little sake. It's like blazing hot in that little dish.
That means
Wow.
it's clean, dude.
It is clean.
I'm betting it's just like a Chinese tea. Looks like oolong. Something like that. I don't know. I'm not good at tea. You gonna do this? What are we tea toasting to?
To Malaysia.
To Malaysia. It's good.
Oh, it's
yeah.
tea, like just really strong tea. Other than that,
Let me try these ribs, y'all.
you want to try these ribs?
So, like Katie mentioned, this place is specializing in pork, which is odd because we're in Malaysia, where it's an Islamic country. But there's a huge Chinese population. And looking around here, I think we're kind of in a city or an area of a city that has a lot of Chinese people. Because there's a lot of Chinese writing basically on everything. Like it's in both like Roman characters for Malay and in Chinese like straight up. So maybe that's how a all pork restaurant survives in a Islamic country. Wonder how hard it is to source pig here, you know? So I'm gonna go ahead and try some, like, I mean, it just looks like Chinese food to me. Like, pretty good.
Is it?
Yeah,
I was really worried.
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's spiced really well. It's kind of a rich flavor to it. The broth that it's in is just really good. I mean, it's Chinese-y stuff, you know? But, yeah. I'm alright with this. She also brought out those little pieces of bread. And
Dunk it.
I don't know, dunk it? Is that what I'm supposed to do here?
Wow.
Birds are noisy. Damn good. I'm really happy with this. This is a good find. The longer we sat there, the more people showed up, and it got really, really bustling inside. And the restaurant just has like a really amazing energy to it. And I ended up ordering more ribs because they were so good. And we got a green thing that was like, can you explain the green thing at all?
It was bok chow, lettuce and celery that had been stewed in pork something. And then they put kind of a jelly sauce on top and some peanuts. It's really outstanding.
That's a good Chinese restaurant.
We're on the hunt for a sweet treat of some sort, something new we haven't seen before. And I think we got maybe 20 minutes down the road and it's monsoon time. So a heavy rain is happening and you just kind of gotta wait it out. We're in a little market that has like little household knickknacks and lots of mangoes. But no like special sweet treats, so we're holding out for the rain to go away.
It just slowed down. You want to make a jump and go over to that one?
Alright.
Go. So what do you think this one's gonna have?
It's very silver and glittery. I think it's just more house stuff.
Or is that bags of
Or
nuts?
it's just hanging fish. Oh, it might be sweet treat heaven.
You think so?
Kind of, yeah. We had some of these little, they were like lotus root that was deep fried with a little bit of sugar.
It's kind of boring.
It was kind of boring, so we won't be getting those again, but I mean, this is just snack heaven. We landed in a very interesting place. This is a pretty terrible amount of copy and paste. Like, it's every single shop has basically the same thing. And it's just one after the other, after the other, after the other. After all that copy and paste in the labyrinth that we just went through, we just spit out into this. It's like a little spot just opens up to another little spot, and then another little spot opens up to another little spot, and it's like, I don't even know how to explain how that feels.
This spot looks like it's gonna be more exciting.
It feels like Inception. You're going into someone else's dream, from someone else's dream, from someone else's.
You know that Rick and Morty episode?
Rick and Morty,
You're Morty. So we're just walking through this market. This one's pretty exciting. It's not just copy paste, copy paste. Everything is a bit different. And there's some copy paste going on, but it's not all the same thing. They've got like meat on a rack and lots of smoke and stuff. And then they've got an area that's got things like this, which is called an ABC, which is just like ice and fruit and syrup of some sort, all mixed together. So I mean, how can that go wrong? I think I might see durian. Oh no. It's macaroni. There's not durian, it's just mango. There's macaroni. Why is there macaroni in this? These things look way better than they actually are, to be real with you. They're not really super like flavorful or anything, but I just figured I wanted to sit down for a few minutes, so here we are. So even though the cultures are quite same between Brunei and Malaysia, there's a huge difference between the way that these cities feel, like where we are compared to where we were. I think a lot of it has to do with population density, to be honest. It's really much more crowded here than it was anywhere in Brunei. This is a little grittier, and that kind of was fun, to be real. And the markets are a little more gritty, which is also a fun thing, but they're so much more extensive, and like you can kind of get lost. We're lost. I'm kind of lost for the first time I've been the whole trip.
Yeah, and right now we're trying to, we went to our hotel and we got our hotel set up, and then we were really excited to just get out and go and see stuff. There was a night market and we wanted to get dinner or sweet treat or something. And now we're both realizing that we have no idea what our hotel's name is. And we really kind of have a general idea of where it might be.
Those trees, we saw those trees earlier.
Yeah, we saw those trees earlier. They're very pretty. They're like little lights on all of them, and they're all like different colors and beautiful. So I'm glad that triggered our memory right now. I think we're in the right area. We might have a bed. We'll find out.
How hard could it be?
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Whoa.
One of the things that I really miss about America is the cereal aisle and looking at how ridiculously cracked out the cartoon characters are on the boxes.
The first time that you do draw, this is what you look like. Having a great time. Things are just, wow, good stuff. Then you move over here and things start getting a little bit spacey. You kind of like start losing reality and you're not really there, but you're having a great time. And then you just end up in Chalk's Crisp Land where you just can't even fathom life anymore. Without it, you've got to have it. Eyes watering, just...
Did you learn that in drug school?
At the night market, we went through the fruit section and there was tons of fruit, like grapes, and we haven't had grapes in so long that they're so expensive in Japan. I will never have a grape again in Japan.
It's like $1 a grape.
Sometimes people bring you a gift grape and that is really a gift. Like, wow, you brought grapes? You're a giver. But we didn't get grapes. Maybe we'll get grapes on another day. We decided to get water apple. And it just looks kind of like a pear and a bit of a soft inside with kind of an apple outside. I've never had this before. It comes with some sprinkles. And I'm just gonna put some down in here. Sprinkles smell tangy. Sure how to describe that smell, but I'm just gonna get a dab. The fruit itself is really like aerated. When you bite into it, it's kind of feels like puffs of air kind of coming out of it. I don't know if that makes sense.
It only makes sense because I just bit into one and I felt the same thing. Weird.
I didn't really taste the seasoning at all.
It's grapey and watery. And appley. What's it called?
A water apple.
Yeah, that makes sense. Weird.
It's definitely refreshing, but it's not exciting. And I think that's why it's got the spice, but the spice in itself, oh gosh, I know this smell.
It's like cumin or something like that, like one of those things.
But I just can't think of what it is.
Frankincense or something.
Yeah, it's just some sort of seasoning that I think that neither of these really are doing much. They are refreshing though. This is knick-knack like a mofo.
Hey everybody, that was the fourth part of the Borneo adventure, and a little bit of a spoiler. I'm not sure if this is a big deal or not, but it was the last time that we made it to Brunei. I know in the video we were a little bit like, are we going to make it back? Like, it just, in dreams it would have happened, but there just wasn't the time for it. So I wanted to question you about what your memories are.
Questions?
She hasn't seen any of the footage. Like, you haven't watched any of the videos from Brunei yet, have you?
Mm-mm.
And so she hasn't
No,
seen.
I watched the first one.
Oh, did you? Okay. And then, of course, the video that I just edited, she hasn't seen because it's actually not even done editing as we're shooting this. It's all very complex. But what did you think about Brunei? Like, now that it's been 4 months since we've been there, what's your memory of the country?
It's been 4 months?
Yeah, we went in December, dude. It's now almost April, or it is April. Shoot, it's almost my birthday. It's April 15th right now.
I thought it was great. It's probably one of the most surprising and easily traveled countries that we've been to. I expected to go there and that it would be harder than living in Japan, but then everybody spoke English.
Like, super well.
That
like,
blew my mind.
I remember the first day we went to this hotel, and the girl, do you remember her name? Phi, I think her name was? She was super nice, but like, her English was good, but I think what shocked me the most is you would make like cultural jokes with her, like about like American TV shows or something. You made some joke and she got it.
Yeah.
Like, it was like talking to an American girl. It was really crazy, but you're on the other side of the planet.
I felt like I was going to be going for an adventure, but it turned out to be a vacation.
Yeah,
while
it was
we were
one
there.
of the most leisurely
and that
places.
was amazing, because sometimes like you game yourself up for this big adventure, for this difficultness that you're very used to, and then when it turns into something that's just relaxingly enjoyable, it is stunning. And everything was just much easier than expected and really nice. It wasn't overwhelming. There weren't fireworks, but it was just
It was
great.
not an exciting country. It was an extraordinarily pleasant country. Like, extraordinarily pleasant.
Yep.
Yeah, and I guess in Asia, it's almost the most chill country. I mean, we've been to just about every country in like Eastern Asia. I can't think of a more chill country.
No.
It was really chill.
And part of me would go back to that place.
But
at the
I
same
don't know
time, I'm like,
why
I've already done all this stuff you
Yeah, that's the thing. There's not a lot to do there. And I don't think the locals would argue with you about that. I get the impression from some of the feedback we've gotten in comments and stuff that...
we didn't end up going to that area that we made the escape from.
But people don't know this yet, but in Malaysia, Borneo in Malaysia, where we ended up at the end of this video, we go on this bike loop, and we ended up doing things I think that are probably very similar to what we planned on doing there. So yeah, I mean, I would go back there for sure. Somebody was like, "Hey, will you go back there for some reason?" I'd be like, "Okay, that's a good enough reason for me."
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not like dying to go back or anything. But chicken, eating chicken.
Yeah, their chicken.
Oh yeah, their chicken was on point. The chicken game was strong.
Oh my gosh, I can just see the first chicken that we had there. Ugh.
So in that little hawker's place, yeah. So the rest of the series that will play out will be all in Malaysia on Borneo. So I'm hoping that everybody's excited about seeing what we find there, because it's not as chill for sure, but it's definitely not bad.
Oh, it is
in many ways.
It's not chill.
We do some stuff we've never done before, and I'm excited to share it.
I would definitely say that I put the pedal to the metal on planning.
Yeah, it was quite busy.
There will be as much as we can possibly do.
But no spoilers. Don't spoil too much.
It's just a lot of stuff.
And if you're interested about seeing those things, then you can hit the subscribe button, and then also the notification bell that I've made this wacky graphic for. And you'll be able to get notifications via email or your phone or whatever, and then you'll know when we up the texts. What year is it over in Katytown?
Whatever year that is. SMS.
SMS. My beeper just went off. Katie and Eric uploaded the video.
911.
So, yeah.
Also, Facebook, Twitter. And if you want to make great adventures like this and things that we look forward to saying, like, we put the pedal to the metal, if you want to contribute to that, go to Patreon and just get involved, because we would love to keep making videos like this and sharing them with you.
And without our Patreon, this whole series wouldn't even exist. So thanks very much to everybody that has helped us in the past. Anybody's thinking about it, thanks a lot. That's really helpful for us. Did we do it all? Patreon and Twitter and the Facebooks and all the
Check,
social
check,
media
check,
stuff.
check, check.
Oh, thumbs up on the video if you liked that video. I forgot that one. And that, see, I learned the notification bell thing to shout out, but I forgot the thumbs up thing. It's like I only have a certain amount of
Facebook's got
space.
too many buttons. I mean,
You don't even know where we are.
I don't know where we are. 911! My Viva.
So I've got a question from Karen Smith over on Patreon, and she asked, from what I've researched, Japan is a cash-based country. Have you found more places lately are taking credit cards? She goes on to say that her husband and her are taking a trip there next month, and they're trying to figure out how much cash to bring. And she would prefer to use a credit card whenever possible and cash for the rest. So
I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna sound really, really weird. If I see somebody using a credit card at a register in Japan, I'm annoyed because it takes way longer.
I don't know if I'm annoyed, but I'm just surprised.
I'm surprised as well, but it usually is a symbol of a foreigner or a person who has a lot of money.
Every once in a while I see a person like at the grocery store crack out a credit card. It does exist. Don't rely on using a credit card everywhere. If you're going in department stores or you're going into like Yodobashi Camera or something to buy electronics,
Or
like in a big
your
electronic
hotel.
shop or your hotel, they're probably going to take credit cards. If you're going places that are like very tourist driven, you're probably going to be able to find places to take credit cards. If you're going into your local ramen shop on this random street corner, they are not going to take credit cards 99% of the time. In fact, they might not even be willing to touch your cash because you put it into a vending machine to get a ticket to pay them. Those types of places, you have got to have cash on hand.
Yeah. I don't know how much I would advise like someone to bring with them.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
What's up with people bringing money with them?
I know, we never did that because our bank, we use Schwab for banking and we can get unlimited worldwide ATM withdrawals without any fees.
I would almost advise calling the credit card that you're planning on using to make all these purchases overseas. Instead of bringing the money with you and getting it exchanged, call your credit card company and see what their fees are for taking money out of the ATM.
Yeah.
Because if you come here and you end up getting the same amount of money out of the ATM that you would have brought with you, I bet.
Yeah, because if you pull out a bunch of American dollars, you're going to have to exchange it, and you're going to hit a rate on that.
so you're going to hit an exchange rate, or you're going to hit a conversion rate on your credit card. And it's almost easier to just do ATM.
Every time we go to a new country, we just take our it's a Visa branded debit card from our bank, and we take that and we just stick it into a local ATM and we pull cash out. And then we have local currency. We've exchanged currency like 3 times ever, and we've been to like 25 countries, and it was just because of circumstantial things that had come up.
Yeah.
So like when we have to do it, I'm like, how does this work? Like I'm looking at all the numbers,
it's
I'm
one
like,
of those things, like all these things that are slowly just gonna evaporate, like people driving cars and stuff. Those little boxes with the people exchanging the money, and pagers, and people exchanging money, like currency exchange at the airport. Poof.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that will be a thing. But anyway, that's what I would do, and you can carry you're going to carry around cash. I mean, right now there's probably like $200 worth of cash in my wallet, and that's just how we roll. Like I get cash out like once every other week or whatever it is.
You're going to get robbed, and if you lose your wallet, like I've lost my wallet 400 times.
You usually get it back, like unless you're me.
I've gotten it back every time.
I did. The one time I lost mine, gone.
The trash can couldn't give it back to you.
Yeah. The theory is I threw it away by accident at this point. But anyway, yeah, so as far as cash goes, you're going to probably just want to use cash while you're in the country. I don't know.
You at least need to have someone at all times.
Yeah,
just for odds and ends, because the odds and ends in Japan are the good things. They're the wonderful things.
Yeah.
They're the things you can't find anywhere else, and they're not taking credit cards for that. It's going to be a little stand, and there's going to be a little treat there, and you're going to need that 100 yen, that little coin to give to her, and you'll be happy that you had it, so...
Yeah, I guess that about sums up the question.
The little things are what are going to cost you the cash, and the big things you'll have your credit card. So make sure you got some on hand so you can savor those little things.
It's not a really direct answer, but hopefully it makes some sense.
Snacks.
You want to go out and get some snacks?
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.